What dialectic is it's the concept that if you have two people that have brains, we all have brains, I'm assuming. Well-functioning brains, right? Or you wouldn't be here. And in these brains, if we get together and share ideas and experiences that we've never had by having a conversation with somebody else, we might be able to solve some real problems. Makes sense, right? Well, most of the time, when you get into a meeting or a conference or what have you, the ego gets involved, and it's all about looking good in front of your boss, or it's about, you know, making sure you make those candle sales. It kind of gets, your ego kind of protects itself, because during times of fear, ambiguity, and stress, we regress to where we're comfortable. And so if I can learn to be able to sit down and have a conversation with somebody that's not a debate, but a dialectic, what we believe is that the outcome will actually solve the problem, and you'll start thinking of things that you wouldn't have thought of on your own. What's really cool about this concept, and we're going to go through a little bit of this here, but what's really cool about this concept is you can internalize this. So I can have two people, and I can say, I like red, and here's why I like red, and here's why you're stupid for liking blue, because red is cool and I like red. And the person on the other side says, well, that's stupid because blue's better, and I like blue, and if you don't like blue, you're stupid. And so what happens to that relationship? Do they get closer? Do you think the more that they debate what's better, blue or red, the closer they get? It gets them farther apart, right? If somebody can say, I like red, but I understand you like blue, and I sense you like blue about as much as I like red, that's pretty darn cool. You know, let's get together and see if we can make purple kind of thing, you know? But that's basically what kind of happens in this. But the cool thing is you have brain, and you have two parts of your brain. You have a left side of your brain and the right side of your brain. The left side of your brain, from a psychological perspective, controls your process. This is the side of your brain that tells you to get up in the morning when the alarm rings. This is the side of your brain that tells you to brush your teeth. Is there anybody out there, if you really, really, really were to think about it, likes to brush their teeth? Or is that just see no hands? I knew it. Okay, there you go. There's always one or two weird ones in the crowd that like to brush their teeth. That's okay. You do it because you've been programmed, to brush your teeth in the morning. I mean, there's all sorts of ramifications. You don't want to breathe on your boss and stink, and, you know, if you want to kiss somebody, you know, that kind of thing. But the act of actually getting up, grabbing a toothbrush, putting toothpaste on it, that's learned behavior. That's mom and dad. That's that little voice in your head that's telling you should brush your teeth. You should get up in the morning and brush your teeth. That's the side of your brain that says, I should make X amount of money to pay the mortgage. That's the part of your brain that says, I should make sure that I match my navy blue shoes with my navy blue pants. That's the side of your brain that gives you that direction. And it has served us very, very well. You wouldn't be here if that side of your brain wasn't functioning properly. Do you agree with that? And can you all think about how much your should talks? How many of you are thinking right now about your to-do list? Left side of your brain. How many of you are thinking on the drive home, I need to stop and get some milk? How many of you are thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow? That's all the should side. That's all, and it's great. We're not knocking the should side of your brain. We're not knocking that left side of your brain. But that side of your brain saying, I like red, red is good. So right side of your brain, if you don't like red, you suck. So if the left side of your brain is what I should do, and what everything that I know, society, my teachers, reading in school, all of that stuff that we've been bred into us and shoved at us and taught to us over and over again in our lives. So what's the opposite side of your brain? Anybody know? What's the right side? Very good. That's the side that wants to go disco dancing. That's the side of your brain that wants to go to Bora Bora. That's the side of your brain that wants to paint. That's the side of your brain that goes, I like candles. Pretty candles, pretty flames, pretty colors. That's not the should side. Should you like candles? Yes, I should like candles. No, you like candles. You love candles. You want to do what you do because you want to do it. So here's the secret. When the left side of your brain, your should side, and the right side of your brain, your want side, aren't agreeing, they're in a debate, you're stuck. Does that make sense? Makes sense. So you've got one saying blue, one saying red, and they're saying the more they argue, the further apart they get. So if you've gotten up in the morning and you said, I should organize my office today. Yeah, that resonates, yeah. Ask my friend Ann, I just went through this yesterday. I should organize my office. And what's your want side say? I want to go outside. I don't want to. And that's a good point, because sometimes we don't know what we want, but we know what we don't want. I should organize my office, because if I organize my office, then I can get around to making those phone calls. And if I can get around to making those phone calls, then I can get some parties booked. If I get some parties booked, then I can make my bonus. And if I make my bonus this month, then I can buy myself a nice pair of shoes. So that's my plan. That's what I should do. In the meantime, you've got the right side of your brain saying, what is it saying?
I want to go buy those shoes.
Yeah, shoes. What else is that side of your brain saying? Yeah, need a nap.
There's a really good book by the bed.
There's a good book by the bed. There you go. I want to read. I want to read. What else?
I don't want to get out of bed.
Don't want to get out of bed. I'll do it tomorrow. Anyone else?
I want to play with my kids.
You want to play with your kids? I don't want to clean my office. I want to go have some kid time. What else?
Everything but.
Everything but. So let me ask you the question, and you all know the answer. Feel free to blurt it out. So when that one side comes and says, hit the snooze, go play with your kids, what does your left side of your brain say?
Okay.
Really?
Do it.
Or does your left side of your brain all of a sudden become mom?
Do it.
Yes. Get your butt out of bed, brush your teeth, and get that office cleaned now. And so then what does your right side of your brain say?
Whatever. Okay. Whatever.
Fine. Blue is still better than red. I hate you. And the right side of your brain pitches a hissy fit, and it sits there and suffers in silence, because most of the time the left side of your brain shoves through, shoves through, shoves through, shoves through. And if you don't get that office clean, you know that guilt that you feel? That's the left side of your brain making your life a living hell. You're stuck. What do I do? So let me ask the question again. Who here's not stuck?
Whatever.
Thank you. Yes. Whatever, crazy lady, go home. Is that right side or left side? The brain speaking right there. Get off the stage. So what we want to try and accomplish with Get Unstuck is we want to actually create a relationship between the right side and left side of our brain. And if we can create a relationship between the right side and left side of our brain and actually have an opportunity to talk it through, we might find out that it has absolutely flippin' nothing to do with the cleanliness of the office. There's a much deeper issue at play. And sometimes it's having that what we call positive regard for the other side, of having that conversation, that we start to realize that there is another answer. And maybe it's, I need to clean the office for 15 minutes and then I need to go play with my kids. I can do 15 minutes. Or maybe it's, you need to hire somebody to clean your office because you ain't never going to do it. Or it could be anything, because when you start to engage the other sides of your brain, if your right side of your brain and the left side of your brain are in complete agreement, what you should do versus what you want to do are in complete alignment and agreement, that's called intrinsic motivation. That's gold. Intrinsic motivation. As opposed to external motivation, aka mom and dad yelling at you. Or internal motivation, aka mom and dad yelling at you, but they're not really there.